Teams is a fantastic piece of software. It's included free of charge in your Microsoft Business 365 subscription, and it absolutely can streamline your task management for your law firm. It can streamline your communications with your staff members by using the chat feature, and it can otherwise streamline the way that you store and organize data. There will be a separate video about the Teams data and access through SharePoint, and then creating libraries of data so that you have particular data types so you can search for pleadings or correspondence, and it really is a comprehensive document management system. And at the end of the day, what we're looking for is to practice smarter and to eliminate wasted time, wasted money, wasted software. So I'm going to help you do that. So we're working in teams and we're getting our initial setup done. Most importantly, we want to create an atmosphere where the documentation and the information is intuitive. You and your staff can find it without struggle and without a bunch of searching. And the final goal is to keep everything in a succinct place so that we don't have to go searching to Dropbox for this, OneDrive for that, my desktop for that. So what we've created is a team, and I'll walk back through that. So we've got our test channel, we've called it clients, and within the clients team, we have actual clients. We've got 2 clients right now, Jane Jones and Robert Smith. And then we've got the general channel. I create a general channel for every single team, and I like to put it in brackets so that it is at the top of every channel, no matter what. Part of the goal of structuring things is to make them easy to find all the time, so you're not wasting time looking for random, files or notes. So within the general channel, which is a regular channel, you could just post and write something. Hey, welcome to the general channel, or has anybody seen the Smith file? But I rarely post in the general channel, and what I usually do is post in the client channels. For purposes of this demonstration, we're talking about setup. So from the general channel, there's a files tab at the top. I've created a folder called templates. It's very easy to create a folder. You click new, you click folder, and you can name the folder and you can color them. I use a color coding system. So I use blue on my paper files. I literally have colored folders, and on my electronic files, I use colored folders. So blue in my world is a pleading, green in my world is a communication, red in my world is my billing folder, because it's the most important folder. I never want to misplace that one. And then I use miscellaneous colors. I might use purple for discovery or random whatever, but blue is always pleadings, green is always correspondence, and red is always billing in my world. And it just makes it easier. If I see those colors, I know that's my pleading folder and I just grab it. So I followed that through to my electronic style, which is very easy here in Teams to assign colors to the folders, and I like that. It will carry through and show up on your SharePoint as well. So we've got our templates. So maybe there is a scenario where we need to do, onboarding or things like this. I would keep that in admin templates. I might also I use some third-party referral sources, and so I keep templates in there. Thank you for your referral, that kind of thing. So I would say that's more of an admin template, and I would use templates as maybe something that is more client-oriented. Here is a copy of the form we use for discovery. Here is the copy of the letter we send the client when they, initially join the firm. So I think those are 2 different categories. I'm going to keep using the same color for templates so that I know that pink files mean those are things template-oriented. So I've got like a coral color and a pink color. Within templates, I created a folder. This actually probably goes in admin then, since we made an admin folder. I digress. But I made a folder called file structure, and every single client that I have has the exact same file structure: billing, communications, discovery, notes, memos, pleadings. I might add 20 more folders, but to start, these are the ones I know I need. So if I just regular click on that, 5 things are selected. I can now actually right click and click copy to. I would then copy to a new client. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to back up the test channel, and let's go to one of our new clients, Jane, and we're going to copy here. Now, Jane's folder in SharePoint and on Teams has this file structure for saving things. This is going to make your life easy when all of your folders match and you didn't spend 20 minutes clicking new folder color red, new folder color green. So let's hop into SharePoint and see if it did what we thought it would do. All right, we go to office.com. That's where nearly every tool we're going to use for our law practice lives, and we're going to sign in. So now let's go to SharePoint. We're going to click the waffle button button on the upper left-hand corner, and we're going to find SharePoint. Click on SharePoint, and things are going a little slow because I'm uploading 8,000 files right now. All right, we're not going to deal with this right now. So in our SharePoint on the test channel, so sites that you use frequently will pop up. We'll talk in another video about the SharePoint setup. For now, we're just talking about files though. So things will show up here that you use frequently, things will show up here that you use frequently, and then we can also pin them, but we're not talking about that right now. We will do this later, and basically we're going to go over to our documents in our client test channel, and it will look the same for everyone. And within the test channel, what we want to do is see if the things we did over here on Teams, which was to copy our file structure into the Jane Jones file, we want to see if that took hold. Did it work, and is it now site-wide in SharePoint? So let's go to Jane Jones and see. Look at that. All of our folders are right there. Perfect. Now, if we needed to put something in here, we could click, we could drag and drop. We could also upload, and you can change these views. So we've got our file structure copied. We've got a folder for templates for the interoffice stuff and for the client stuff. What I'm going to do is rename this folder though. We can just click on the three dots, click on rename, and now we're going to put case templates. So how about that? Anytime we're doing something with a case, such as opening the case, working on the case, dealing with discovery, whatever it might be, we'll put those in case templates, and admin templates will be just for firm things that might be internal only. Maybe it has something to do with employee retention, employee hiring, firing, that kind of thing. Those would be the kind of things you might put in templates here. For now, it's empty. And then we've got our test channel ready to go called clients. We've got some clients, and now we've got a place to store things. I'm going to show you one more thing about the general channel. You can make this top bar as custom as you'd like. So files is obviously where we save the documents that have anything to do with clients, because that's the name of this team. Notes is a OneNote notebook, which is fabulous. There will be a complete video on OneNote itself. It's opening now a new notebook specifically for this channel. And then we've got this plus button, add a tab. There are so many things you can do with Teams, so many things you can add. It is amazing. All right, one of the things you might want is lists. One of the things you might want is a whiteboard. I really like the whiteboard feature. I'm going to throw a list on there, and now it's going to be an entirely new tab dedicated to list making. Click save. Now we have a list tab, and there are other tabs. Let's see what else. Maybe there's something else we're just dying to have. So whiteboard is, in the context that I'm going to use it, a little bit similar to OneNote channel calendar. So use the calendars with caution. You don't want 50 calendars. However, if you wanted a calendar only for your clients, you're only going to put client matters in this particular calendar, this would be a spot to add it. Put it in the general channel of the team called clients, and then you would put all of the things that to clients in this calendar. So now anyone on the team goes to the general channel, they can go to the client calendar, and they can see exactly what's going on. You can change the views, work week, day. Maybe you could even use this instead of the client calendar. Maybe it's going to be some other kind of log or schedule to maintain that you want your staff to use to sort of guide their day. Maybe you want every Friday from 10 to 3 your staff to work on sending update emails. Maybe you put that in there so they never get confused about what it is they're supposed to do. If you wanted to do something like that, maybe you rename this from client calendar to staff task calendar. Save. And let's put that in. Let's put on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to work on our client updates. Client updates will be the title, and potentially you could name and add all of your staff as required attendees. Give them a block of time to do that. I want client updates to be from 10 to noon, and that is pretty much all we need there. And then we're going to repeat that. We want every week on Friday, no end date, forever. We want our staff to know that they should be working on client updates. And there you go, starting on the 10th from 10 to noon, client updates. And maybe every Tuesday, because my motion call is Wednesday, from 3 to 5, pull files and notify clients. So from 3 to 5 every Wednesday, my staff knows those are the things they're supposed to be doing. And there it is. Pull the files and notify the clients. I've got other videos coming that will show you how the notifications can go automated so that that's not an actual task, but it would be helpful to ensure that it was completed. There were no errors in running that automation. But this is the calendar feature, and this calendar will also carry over into your Outlook. We'll talk about that in a different video, but scroll through. You don't want to clutter your top bar, but if there are things that you can use and that will help your team, then I'm all for it. So we've got Microsoft Project. Actually, what we want to do here is Microsoft Planner. So let's add Planner, and you will see why this is a fantastic tab. So the great thing about Microsoft products is they all communicate with each other. So if you use Planner within Teams or elsewhere, you can get to it at office.com. Everyone is looking at the same thing, and it integrates with your other software. So like Microsoft To Do, it will integrate with Microsoft Outlook. And I think that overall, once you get into using the Microsoft tools the way they're intended, you will find that they will make your life so much easier. And there is so much that these tools can do that you had no idea. So real quick, this is sort of the format in Planner. It will let you create a grid-like task management list, a card-like task management list, a calendar task management list, and then there's also sort of some metrics you can do. So let's put some stuff in. I like to start from this one with the buckets. So to do, past due, even though nobody wants any of that. And then one more we're going to call on hold. So there's some reason why we can't get it done. To do, we're going to put file a motion, Smith filed a motion, set a due date. Now, assign is kind of important because if you're going to use Microsoft To Do, and I recommend that you do, you want to make sure that this calendar is populating correctly over to To Do, and that To Do can populate itself back over to here. Part of the thing with Planner is it will make a separate task list that says assigned to you. So if you fail to assign the tasks in this list to someone, you're going to end up with a problem because it's not going to appear on your to-do list of assigned to you. So assign. This is me. So I'm going to assign this to me. Just click anywhere else. Click task. Now we've got that one. Let's file a Smith motion. Send, let's go Jones. Send subpoenas for trial. Let's go ahead and set that for due date next week. I'm going to assign this to the assistant. I'm going to add that as a task. Let's add one more. All right, now there will be another tip in a moment about why that's not the best way to do what I just did, but let's get a few things in here. All right, so we have 3 tasks now. And we can very easily say, well, the subpoenas are past due. They need to be done. Let's put them there. That's a trigger for everyone on the team to know anything in this column better get taken care of. This column here has 2 things. They both relate to Smith. Well, if we were to click into this, we would see that it's in the to-do bucket. It has not been started. So anyone who starts the task might want to put in progress so that somebody else doesn't pick up that task and get going on it. And you can type notes. So see client notes regarding custody motion, and you can add an item. So where I've made Smith draft brief and a Smith file motion, instead I could have wrote here, draft the brief, do a notice of hearing, recipe, we have that word here, just to tell the court that we need something on the docket, and then serve opposing party. And then this button here, show on card. So you can either have the detail right into the card or omit it if you want to keep them a little more streamlined. I like to keep the detail so everyone can see that this is a big task and it needs to get done. You can add attachments. So let's say when I say see the client notes, I could literally attach the client notes from my computer. And as people do things, so maybe I want to say at this is missing the report cards. Cannot file until we hit those to attach as an exhibit. All right, now if I click send, it will post it to that thread. So here it tells me the day I created the task. Here is my note. And if someone else writes a note, it's going to have their name and their note. When you're done with your card or your task or your details, you can click the X, or you could just click anywhere outside of it. It will save it right there. So that is how easy it is to use tasks within your Microsoft Teams and keep them all together. Everyone should be able to see them. No one should say, I have nothing to do today, because they can just go to the general tab of your client's channel and see the entire task list.